Hey everybody, this is my name is Jeff Gibby. I'm going to read a legal disclaimer for you. You're going to love it. But I want to say thank you for coming. A few things before we get to the legalese. Thanks for coming. It's good to see you today. I'm doing great. I hope you're doing well as well. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. It helps a great deal. Tell us where you're at, where you're from. Those comments actually do help the algorithm quite a bit as well. So we appreciate any interaction. If you do have questions for Peter during today's session, let me know. He can see the GoToWebinar questions, but I'll make sure that any questions that come through either any of our platforms that we're streaming on today get passed along to him. So in any case, I promised a legal disclaimer. Here it comes. Today's demonstration is designed to instruct you on using MetaStock and the accompanying software plugins. It's not a recommendation to buy or sell, but rather guidelines to interpreting and using specific indicators and features within the software. The information, software, and techniques presented today should only be used by investors who are aware of the risk inherent in trading. And MetaStock should have no liability for any investment decisions based on the use of the software, any trading strategies, or any information provided in connection with the company. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. Today we do have a special guest. Peter has been a friend of MetaStock for decades now. He had an initial product that was released. It was called FX Traders Advantage. And that released, I think, about 15 or 16 years ago. Peter's a really, really talented technician. The Magic Trader Elite is kind of where he gets all the 5 ingredients from. He's going to be talking about it extensively today. And it's a great product and a great way to look at the market. And as you know, right now, the markets are a little bit volatile. So it's really good to have some really, really good analytics and instruction to help you understand it. So let's go ahead and bring Peter on. Peter, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing all right. Thank you for having me today, and thanks to everybody who took time to attend the webinar today. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's good. You're welcome anytime. We love having you. I always listen to what you have to say. So I'm
I hope he's good. I hope he's good.
Okay. Well, it usually is. It usually is. So I'm going to go ahead. We can hear you. I can see your screen. Everything looks good technology-wise. I'm going to get out of your way. The floor is yours.
All right. So I'm happy everything is working out good, and the market is doing good. So I'm feeling good too. Right. So we're going to read the disclaimer because it's required. I'm registered, right, with the federal government. So I have to do it, right? But I want to warn you people that our disclaimers are more than normal because we have a lot of restrictions, right? So basically, we're going to be short and sweet, but I still have to go through a bunch of slides. So please bear with me. I'm trying to move the slide and it gives me a hard time somehow. Let me see. Okay. Now, today we're going to talk about a couple of topics you have seen before, but I always change the slides and we try to stay focused on what the most important parts are. Right? And that doesn't mean that you cannot ask questions. So don't ask me which stock I should buy, sell, and hold because I get in trouble. So we could talk about technicals, not advising people. But today there are interesting topics, right? So we're going to have 5 patterns which I designed from my institutional experience, and basically I have lived with this thing at least from 2006. So it's a brand new technology, but it was in use since 2006, even before that. But that's the first time I applied that technology to an institution to rescue them, and it worked out good. So basically, there's a lot of new inventions in there. So whatever you see on a Google, you can't find things what you're going to see here. But technology is not old. I mean, it's not new. It has been in a practical use for a long, long time. So these are the topics. You could read it later because we're going to go in a real time, so we could have more time for other things. So I'm going to be quick here. As I told everybody, I'm registered with the CFTC. I had a Series 7, 663, and a bunch of other licenses, right? So I'm not working or doing this presentation as an investment advisor. I'm doing everything for education purpose only. There will be no buy or sell or hold recommendation. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a CPA. I'm just a trader like you. Just know a little bit about trading. Just 30 years plus. So markets are risky and all these discussions are hypothetical, and you could lose more money in certain strategies than you invested in. So only genuine risk funds should be utilized to trade. Don't borrow money and try to make money out of that. You're going to have a lot of pains. You could definitely make money in certain ways, but it cannot be consistently happening. So nobody can guarantee any performance, whether it's in a past or in a future. And there is no safe system is designed, including Magic Trader. So we cannot even tell you that you're going to make money or lose money with Magic Trader because that's against law, right? We just doing interpretation of the chart. So CFTC Rule 4.41, they indicate that everything we do is hypothetical for education purpose only. All testimonials are not guaranteed for the future, and lack of liquidity do exist. Bid and ask spread goes wide enough, including in options and including in security or anything you trade. So you need to be aware of that, and you could also lose money because of lack of liquidity. You can get out. In our alert room, we do teach those and those events where you could stay out of the trouble. But there is no guarantee because this human error always happens. Options, we do have symbols for the options, and options are risky. Same thing like equity, I said, you could make a lot of losses if certain strategies are adopted. You should go for free education. This is a top of the line education, and it's free from Option Clearing Corporation. You should read all the supplement and basically they have manual. You should read about the risk, and you will become a better trader because they have a class education. I'm not affiliate with them, but whole industry follows, including institutions, them, and they got a pretty good material. Now, my company, right, does not provide any kind of advice, even though I'm registered with CFTC. So you have to understand that you only going to get education from our company, and my company is not responsible for your losses or recommending anything. Right? Then we have patents, trademarks, service mark, and all kind of stuff. Please respect our intellectual property. Everything you could imagine, we have filed for patents or we have all this stuff. Now, this belongs to previous administration about the copyrights. So you should consult your legal advisor to do interpretations. Now, again, my company, the registration number is 352991. We have taken exemptions, so I'm not doing any money management right now, or neither we are doing any brokerage capacity, even though I could, but I took the exemption for a while, so I could do this job. It's very hard to do many things at the same time. So we are going to talk only what is education purpose. Now, I do show my real position time to time in our live room, but whatever the position I'm taking, I'm not taking responsibility. If I forget, then it's forget, but not intentionally we want to forget. I try not to discuss when we do live webinars. So this way, I don't have to get in trouble. Now, testimonials, I urge people not to hype people who are doing good. We tell them, if somebody asks you, right, tell them you could lose money or you could make money, but you got to have your advisor advising you. So we don't want people to hype it. Now, we do have a patented idea about scalp swing, and basically that is also creating initially a lot of trades the scalper does. But I want people to contact your CPA and discuss with them how to handle tax business because we can advise you. So goal of this webinar today is how to trade with Magic Trader, how to use simple trading strategy and find the best opportunity in minutes, which is true. MetaStock scanner does a great job. You make your own list what you like to trade and see if 39 scanners gives you what you're looking for. So we have many explorer or call scanner. That is your best bet to save a lot of time. And also we're going to discuss how you could boost your confidence with these simple patterns, which is happening every time. And on average, we find 2 to 500 trades between all these scanners, which are tradable. But also, there is a possibility you could lose money because it's human error. Your entry exit could be different than mine, even or anybody. So basically, we save a lot of time, and the software is based on a risk. So we do care, everybody cares for money, so that means price, but we are basically making decisions based on the risk, and software has inbuilt symbols for the risk involved at that particular candle or bar. So we pay attention to risk rather than price. Now I'm going to explain to you a simple concept of the magic trader. So this area on the top we call as a health indicator or health window, right? And it has a idea about people's human body, how it operates inside your heart, what is the pulses are, right? All kind of stuff, right? So having my own health issues, I came up with this idea that why we cannot see internal of the security, what is really happening inside. It's not just worry about the price and worry about everything else or what analyst says. The chart don't lie. So basically, this was designed for 3 years. And a couple of times we have to have discussion with patent office, right? And we refile because I found a better way. So this is the simplest way calculating all internal health and overall health on many kind of things. It does not tell you here, but it is included in those. So I go with the security health. If it is not good, I'm out. There's no ego. We, we get out. That's the bottom line. So you don't give up your money, what you earn, right? And I'll be honest with you, I got caught by surprise, but I calculated this morning one of the security, which I don't want to disclose, right? Because I'm going to show in my alert room. But calculation was based on this software, and I'm in positive trade. That doesn't mean every time it's like that. You can't do it, but I try to minimize the drawdowns. So basically, this software has a one peculiarity about minimum drawdown. I cannot guarantee full 0%, but people have witnessed almost or no drawdown at all. But it's hard to believe, but this scalp swing method is the key to practice and masterize, right? So basically, that was the problem. I had it because I'm very emotional. Jeff knows about it, right? But how I could control my emotions, so I turned into this methodology to trade, right? So we teach you all this thing, or you could learn yourself. That's not a big deal. So this health window is the key of this software. So let's talk about what is this all. So all the lines I'm going to explain later at a time, but these are not your regular moving averages, so don't mix up with that. And these are customized for each time frame. So they have nothing to do with regular lines you're looking at. And that doesn't mean those lines are bad, but we found a better way of doing things, right? And it works for me at least. And people in my room will tell you, or our customer will tell you, it works for them too. So basically, these are two magic lines, and the blue circles are the basically forecasting. So it does forecast. So we're going to go higher. So this has a number from 1 to 6. So 1 is the best, lowest risk. 2 is a little bit higher, and so on and so forth, up to 6 number it goes to. And a couple of numbers have a red color, so at least you got to pay attention at that time. You have to, right? So basically, that's what all these blue circles are, and they have a purpose. This is a pullback, so you could take your profits or whatever, right? So this is it's a pullback, and basically, idea here is you go in a main risk reversion area. This is in between two magic lines, and there is a forecasting. So software is forecasting. We're going to go higher, and you could see yourself. So this is how basically is these color candles. But the important stuff is this yellow bar. We call them as a catalyst. There are three kinds. We're going to show you in a little bit. So basically, I like to have a setup like this, and you could use famous MetaStock Explorer function, which really works well for us, and hopefully it works for everybody else. And when yellow bar is there, and we're going to talk about 5 patterns. So this is one pattern. This is 2. I'm going to explain to you one by one. 3. Then this is a pure health. So if I do not have much time while I'm trading, I look at this one, right? Instead of being technician at that time. Suppose you do scalping, you don't have time to analyze too much. So software says, oh, this is good. This color ribbon is good, right? And this is an horizontal risk. It has nothing to do with the other plugins or whatever you're using. This is based on a time risk, right? So that's how the software is designed. And we prefer to have combination of bunch of patterns that I like to pull my trigger. But that doesn't mean all has to match. I would say 2 minimum and 1 catalyst is good to go. Now let me explain to you each ingredients or pattern one by one. The vertical line is the green direction line. What that means? So software calculates that we're going to go long, and it is done in a health window, not here in a health window. And I prefer to look at that. Direction is clear. Also, what do you call that tells me that I could take the risk. So when I write my daily free WhatsApp messages to hundreds of people around the world, right? I mean to tell risk on. So this is a risk on situation. Risk off means we're going short, right? So basically, market has a risk on. That means everybody's bullish. Futures look good, everything look good, and my whatever the security is telling you, okay, we are good too. And you could scan them. So you don't need to go on wondering how to calculate how it came from. Who cares? As long as you go in the right direction and make few bucks, that's our goal. And hopefully you do risk manage so you have less chances of losing everything. So this area, confined area between two brackets, shows the health situation. What does that mean? That means there is some secrets in there. So this line, purple line, has to be above blue line and has to be above dotted line. And dotted line is the 0 line. So let's start with dotted line. This is the dotted line. It has a value 0. So this blue line is the next, right, and has a value 1. And this purple line has a value 4. That's what you need to care. As long as it's there, we have less risk to enter in. And that's how we trade. So you don't need to do traditional analysis. I was one of them teaching all over the world. And Jeff used to travel with me, right? And I realized so much time we put it in, 3 hours to do analysis. And by the time we ready for the software to place the order, it's gone, right? Market moves ahead of us. So we'll miss the trade. So I got frustrated so much as I got to find something which works all the time. And I was lucky to invent something, and I took all the traditional indicator, put on a side. I said I got to do something different, And that's how this software was created, right? So it has been functioning so far, a lot of years. Number three pattern, we call it a spike. MetaStock does have all good looking spikes, but this is specially designed. It does not work the same way your spike, which is MetaStock, gives you as a standard. This is modified according to the formula we patented, and that itself is one of the dimension, right? And it is not the same what you are used to, especially for MetaStock. So trading is different, right? And we are looking for the base, what we are prepared when it's halfway forming. And that is also good thing to scan earlier. So I am ahead of the game. So that's what the functionality is. And anchoring happens at the base. So yellow bar starts, that's the catalyst. That means all the sailing is done. And you could see from here, all sailing is done and we're going to move higher. And if you are not sure, let it close above it. And then you look for another day. But however, people who wants to be making more money, they could look at the pure health and the green ribbon matching. That's even good thing. So this is, we're going to talk in a minute. So basically, when things are right, 5 different patterns matches, and catalyst is the fuel on a fire. So basically, we we call in a room, we going to go to the moon. There is no guarantee, and even if you don't know much, now you have a forecasting symbol, the lowest risk, and software is telling it may make new highs, right? And basically, that will keep you safe. I did not have magic zone levels, so I could impose that if you have time it. But basically, what it means that these levels or one of these that struggle here, there has to be magic zone level, and they substitute of Fibonacci, but they are not Fibonacci. They have dynamic changes, and with the market movement, it changes. Fibonacci's are static. That doesn't mean Fibonacci is bad. People around the world using them. I have no problem. I was one of them. So how you could tell them they don't work? No, they do have one issue is they are static. What we're doing is more dynamic and adaptive. That's the big difference. So I had to go and scratch many of my hair out, all right, in order to figure out. And it is working for more than 15 some years. And it does forecast, and people have eyewitnesses, many traders around the world, that it does go there. So you don't need to worry about putting Fibonacci, which is the high and low, on a 38% or whatever percentage. I really don't care. Because while I'm trading, I do need to spend less time in analytical work. So this way I could have a proper entries and I don't miss my profits. So that's the idea. Now, as we talk about, this is relating message from the health window. So if you don't have time, and I prefer you also watch both of them, but if I don't have time, I look at, oh, pure health is there, okay, I'm going there. And same way, each of these pattern has their own significance. But if you don't have time, you're trading 5, 6 security. How many things you could do? Let's be practical. You want to reduce your attention to unnecessary thing while you're trading. So you could have more stress given to your money than more attention, I should say, to your money so you don't lose them. So you use that energy into your trading instead of worrying about drawing lines and whatever. But we all came from technical background. Let's be clear. If I have to explain to some trader, okay, I came from technical, so I could go and say, okay, this is the trend line you should look at. But am I drawing every day? No, I don't want to. I don't need to. So this is the horizontal time risk. It's not the same ribbon in all other plugin or wherever you're seeing them. It is specially designed with the risk which follows the time, right? And this is one of the dimensions I discovered. And happened to be MetaStock already had a ribbon in a standard, but we wrote formulas to address those risks which are controlled by risk and time factors. So this is the recap what we talk about it. I will go again for the especially new people. So this is that direction line, vertical big line. Then when you are bullish, dotted line 0, and then above that is a one value of the blue line is equivalent to 1, and 4 is the purple line, and they have to be parallel to be safe. So that's where fun starts, that you are in a right train. This is the direction line or direction spike, right? So this is where we entering in. So this is the direction line in reality, but this is further to that. This is an entry for bullish believers. And pure health, I just explained to you, and the horizontal time risk, we talked about it, right? So let's see what we could do. So here is one of the, hold on a second, I'm wondering, okay, we're going to see something. So this is the 5, those patterns we going to show you again how to apply those. So one is the vertical line, which is a direction line. 2 is the parallel lines in a health indicator, which is written here also. And it has to have a parallelism between all 3 in order to be in a safe mode, right? These other lines has its own significance, but we do not need to learn everything today. Now this is the entry spike, which is a bullish spike because it has the color green, right? Same thing here with the red, which we're going to talk in a minute. And this is that catalyst. And this is the pure health, number 4. So it says here pure health, which is good. So we say good. So when you see all, then you enter into yellow bar because this yellow bar is very strong. All these sellers are gone and all institutions start taking positions. Short covering also does happen. Now, when we mention institution, people who are in a room, what I did, and I used to call my friends on Wall Street, what do you do? Right? And I show them, look, my software shows what you did. So they were wondering how the hell I figured out. And what I have done, because some of the people are all skeptics, right? So we got 16 exchanges data. I could test that. And dark pool data. Whenever they're buying, we show up here all these symbols. What that means? It is institution, and it is also true. All the color bars have a different institution, retail presence. You got to learn it, right? So basically, they talk to you. They tell you what is going to happen. Look here, the purple candle and telling 3.3. Are we going to the moon? Yeah, there's no guarantee, but did it? Yes, it did. Look at here. So even intraday, right? Some say, oh, it went down, but intraday, it went from here to here. So for scalper, you go on a smaller time frame at that time. This is a daily. So go on a for a scalp purpose, go on a smaller time frame and find the entry same way like these. And it happens and people seen it. If somebody in audience who've been to the alert room can put it out there, so later on Jeff can read it. Are they witnessing this thing? Yes or no? Somebody should be kind enough to write it. So let's see bearish side. So we often talk, we are all bullish, right? Market has to go to the moon every day. That's what we all believe. Because that's what it does happen for years, right? Eventually it goes up. But you have to maintain your risk level because you're going to get trapped if you don't do it. So how we could make money on a short side? Because the biggest problem today on a short side, because everybody's bullish, it is true, it is contain the risk by institutions between 2 strike price or 2 levels of gamma, which we don't want to talk about. You got to understand what is happening, why market don't go down so quick like it used to, because they are hanging out between those gamma levels or gamma strike prices. And institution hedges there, and that's why it's holding it. Eventually, they will move from one to another one. FOMC yesterday did that, right? We broke 4100, right? So they will be hedging at 4100. We already gave it to in the morning to people who gets my free WhatsApp messages. So I write it every day without. Sometimes I'm in hospital, so I cannot do those things, but I still try. So this is the same way on a bearish side. Vertical line is going down. This is going down. So 0 is on top of this. Blue line is next, which has -1 value, and this has a -4 value. And same thing with the red direction. So we're going down, right? And pure health also no good for a bullish guy. So we are bearish. And same way, horizontal time risk. So this is what 5 patterns I pay attention, because that's the basis of this software. So basically, what we need to do, I do believe that some of these slides did not come in. So I'm wondering what happened to that. Okay, so is this jumping, or I may have to bring that one in, because I have done very good examples today to show to you guys. So let me try if I could find this thing. Give me a second. If it is not, then we will move on the live. Doesn't matter. So okay, let me check one more time.
Peter, I don't know if it helps, but I do see a bearish ingredient entry example slide.
Yeah, I am going to, but what did happen? I added more slides today. It's here. Okay, it's here.
Okay.
Yeah,
No problem.
it's here. So I got to go back. Hold on a second. Can you help me out? How to go back?
Oh, in the PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Just hit the left arrow.
No. You see
left.
the full slides, right?
So what I see right now.
I got it.
Okay, good.
Okay, sorry about that. Now I want to make sure I give you what I designed to give it to you so you could learn better. Sorry about that.
You're doing awesome. Keep going.
Okay, thank you. So these are on a bearish side. We have an example on a Forex, I guess. Yeah, it is in a Forex, right? And what transpired here is the same thing, but in opposite direction. Where is a vertical line, which is a direction line came in. Then these are parallel. And here it got value 4, but -4, and it's a -1, and this is the 0 line. So basically, the spike was coming in, and then we saw a bear going down, and this is for an option point of view, right? And you could see that it says the put plus option, which has a strength more than normal to go down, and the rest was the history. That's how I trade. Nothing big deal. Now you could see here different color candles. So from design, everybody who takes the trading, they know that this is where we're going to enter here. And what are these colors? So this is where big institution keep shorting. I was one of them. That's how I designed. And it is true. Everybody said buy and sell, but the reality it is not true. It is a couple of different ways you could buy in the same developing trend. And there are risks associated. So I dissected them into 5, 6, and more, right? This way I could control my risk. So what do you see? Different color candle, like here, it's a purple color. There is a meaning, right? It says it can go either way. These are the price perceptors, right? So basically, this was telling me going down. Now it says here -5. That means it's coming to an end at one point, but you could keep on going. But you could tighten up your stops after that. So, and look at this here, it's forecasting. As you see, the blue circle is equivalent to 4 is equivalent to that blue circle forecasting. Are we going to go down? Are we going down? It tells you the story, right? So we don't need to be scientists to worry about, oh, I got to call my friend. What he's doing? What is position is he got out or not? You don't need to ask anybody. You are your own technician here. And independently, you could do what institutions are doing. And we have proof of all these things, right? I'm on a public area. So I document everything because I will get CBOE data, I will get dark pool data, what happened at that time. So I don't even worry about much anymore because I did it for years calling Citibank, this guy, that guy, Oppenheimer, what do you guys did it? And some of them pass a comment, we should get it of our analyst. It's true story that your software is showing things earlier than we could do it. So that's what the power I realized very beginning of the institution side back in 2006, 2008, things like that. It's overwhelming, but if you just understand what is happening, you could do well. No guarantees. So here is the spike to go down or go short or whatever, and then pure health was not doing good, right? You could call it an ingredient, but these are the patterns, right? This is a pattern having all these time risk on a bearish side lining up one by one. Look at this here, no stoppage, keep on going. And that's what you could scan it also. That's a good thing about MetaStock Explorer function. Now, this is what I was looking for. I thought I missed out. So how you find them? So there are 3 ingredients indicated, or you could Explorer with the MetaStock, and you get it as a standard. So I use sometimes these. Suppose I have no time, then I separate it out, bullish and bearish, right? But I like to see any of those at any given time for my own purpose of trading. So this was shown before, so I took this slide on a 918, and today, right, for this demonstration purpose, I did it on a weekly and daily also. I did some scanning, and I want to give you the examples how it looks like. So I like to drill from bigger time frame to smaller time frame. That's why you see weekly. If it is a spike forming, not forming, so I could also take advantage of daily. That doesn't mean you cannot scan daily and do it. Either way, but either I look at the chart or I find the Explorer on a weekly and drill it down. So I have institutions on my side based on weekly magic lines. So I did this scanning for demonstration today. We can have time for all of them, but basically I pick up from hat, right? Because they're all doing same thing. Look, you could scan it. All 5 ingredients are matching. Good thing is, if you scan here, the same Explorer, you click here and it will line up all for bearish. And you could see BE means bearish. Everything is there, spike is. So all 5 patterns are side by side. Only I couldn't fit in, otherwise I got to sacrifice the volume because some of the people likes volume. So I keep volume there. But basically, it is true that if there is no liquidity, that means you have $500,000 or less per day volume, right? So you will be at a disadvantage. So you want to be where major money going that day, that week. So those are the ones you should leave it and leave everything. I like to have at least million, on a weekly more than that. But if it was a daily, I like to have million. So this way I don't have to look at too many unnecessary way charts and don't get in trouble. Now this is what I did today, and a request that was 110 because I found on a weekly some, right? So there got to be happening things on a daily. So you're going to see it now. So this is the same security also happening in the same vicinity. That's even good. So I like to drill from top to smaller time frame. So this also showing 5 ingredients. That's even better. So let's see what it does. So if you see here, right, later on you could read all this stuff, right? But the idea here is the concept. Yellow bar here, yellow bar here. This is 120. So a week when this was happening in a daily, right, this was also preparing, right, to go higher. And here was a forecasting. And this is one of my favorite one. That means a lot of institutional force behind it, regardless what you see here, because this is really pushing to the upside. And We don't need to worry about which institution, what dark pool buying and selling. Who cares? My software has two things in there: forecasting, agreeing it, all five patterns are matching, and also price per sector is B. Means these are heavy duty buying coming from on a weekly. That's even better. So that means this is pushing higher, and results are very obvious, right? And you could see here it went to the moon. That's what I say, right? So basically, it puts more odds in your favor. Right? There is a lot of tricks in there, right? How I get in earlier, but so like an ocean and galaxy combined, and internally there are 10,000 items in original software. So no way humanly you could calculate it, or it does even exist. So basically, software has a lot of sophistication inside of this, and that's why we have patents. Okay, now how this thing happened. So basically, my daughter was very young, right? She was in a high school or whatever, right? So I started pushing her because she was involved in all my businesses anyway. So I told her that we got to design it because school teaches you all this, right? So she helped me to build this software from scratch, right? And she did a great job, putting a lot of hours. Still do she do it, right? So people also get help, and she is the one who is my inspiration. That my father was also teaching me all these things. That's why I do business today. I'm not not working for somebody. And basically, for a while, I worked for World Bank and whatever, right, to get the experience. So she was running the business. Now she worked for one of the biggest Wall Street company, which everybody in the world knows. I don't want to disclose it because the compliance says, no, you can't. It's okay, we'll not disclose it. She has 3 and 34 license. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I have right now Series 3 and 34. I had a Series 7, 6, and 63. When we find some people, right, to teach Magic Trader the way in which I want it, then probably I will go back into my money management business and other things I could do, but for not now. So I will be always speaking, right, but I will have limitations, right? So this is a balance I got to look for it. So we're going to be a little bit over, but I just want to give you a friendly warning. So now this is the WhatsApp message. You write it down. This is totally free, no string attached. We don't even promote Magic Trader there, right? So I talk about because this is what is happening on software, but there is no things I want to promote it. Only whenever I speak, I send the link because some people want it. But this is totally free education. There is nothing, you don't have to pay for it, right? So basically, this is the new code. So we know where you're calling from, the request. So Jeff also can track it later. So basically, we want to serve you and do a job, not a claiming that we are all perfect. So we will never claim that. So you could be upset, but you got to work with us. So we could also help you many different ways. So please write down if you need analytical work every day. I write it, and I also educate very deep to those people. Now this is the website. You got to register. We're letting people go because that's the way. Jeff also knows, right, that you also agreed the disclaimer because we work together because I'm registered with federal government. So we got to document everything. Now I want to go quickly about this software. I talked a little bit here and there, but let's go to the point. Now, this software can be applicable to every single thing where Refinity provides the data feed. Without that, I cannot do it because I prefer Refinity data feed. You may not understand the value. Most people worry about the dollar sign. You're going to use that. You get institutional grade data, 100,000 plus data. You don't even have 100,000. minutes to do that. But this is awesome piece of software where they spend more than $1 billion. B for boy. So all the institutions love it. So you're getting for nothing practically. Because I was paying a lot of money. I started with $5,500 to get a terminal, right? And all of the couple of things, but $5,500 back in 90s. So that's a lot of money today. So at least data feed out of that, right? Like whatever the terminal, I don't want to talk about, but some of the terminal had Reuters terminal, right? So I got spoiled with Reuters to start with because I was doing business with MetaStock anyway. So basically, this software produce pinpoint entries and exit. That's the key, and it is applicable to any symbols Refinitiv will produce on the data feed. Now, as I said before, this software is based on a risk, all different kind of things it does internally. And what you see is outside, very simple way. Forecasting I separated because this is very helpful in trading. And somehow the people in my room convinced me to give it to them. This was an institutional product. We give it to them for no extra charge. So that itself has a lot of value. Thanks to MetaStock and their staff helped me out. They understood it. So they said, well, we're going to do all what it takes to do it. So thanks to them. Otherwise, this was not part of agreement. Now, you get more time, and which exactly I did it. I never had a time to sit with my children. Now, after 6 o'clock, I'm done. I take calls and things like that. More or less, I don't have that feelings. I don't have time for nothing. 7 days a week, you analyze. What the hell? There is no life because you're worried. That's why the software was created. So there's no disrespect for any of these people using it. But I found a better way. And that's why for me, I put it in trash for now. Right? Unless somebody tells me, teach me Fibonacci, I'll teach them. I'll teach them MACD because I still have some memory left. Right? So basically, I used to use all these things. I don't need to because I don't have time to analyze all this and worry about. So I do believe that, Jeff, I could go on, but I think this will reduce a lot of time. So then if we have time and when people are asking questions, we're going to go over, Jeff. Is it okay? Then you take it over, do say what you have to say, then we could come back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we don't have a schedule at all today. Like it's
better. So we are going to analyze some charts people wanted, but no buy wholesale recommendations. Right?
Yeah.
Don't
I
get
want to
into
try to take the first. I've actually, and we kind of can talk about kind of what the offers are. If you guys have stocks you want us to look at, it's a good time to look at them it's a good time to start typing them in the YouTube chat and in the thing. I'm going to show you a couple stocks that I want you to look at, though. And,
all right, then Jeff, you could talk to them about what do you call analytical parts, right? Commentary windows, things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to. Yeah, you bet.
Let me tell you guys, me and Jeff goes back so many years, right? Jeff, Kelly, and we all grew together, right? And so many years now, almost since 2003. Right?
Yeah,
and I was dealing with MetaStock before in 90s.
We grew up together, Peter.
Yeah. And it's a great company, great people. We argue, but that doesn't mean I will not ever leave them. So many people try to take me away from MetaStock. No, it's not happening.
Can you see my screen, Peter?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. All right. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
And just go through some things. Sterling, thanks for liking and subscribing on YouTube. All right, Peter, I'm going to bring you back in. And if you do have symbols you want Peter to look at,
but why did you tell them what you need, right? To talk about it. So this way it helps them too.
Yeah.
In a different way.
Yep. The first thing I'm actually going to do is a couple charts. So a little bit of a disclosure on all of these charts that I'm about to show you. I own all of them, and I don't recommend necessarily that you buy them. I just want to show you kind of how easy it is to kind of take the ingredients that Peter talks about and put them on a chart and kind of analyze and that kind of stuff. And I love how well this is. Obviously, you can tell as you kind of get to know the product that this is something that MetaStock, or that Peter knows MetaStock in and out, because, and I'll show you what I mean by that. But Peter, the other thought I had is that we should take this little graphic. I took a little screenshot of it, and we should put it on a mouse, because I just think this is this makes it so easy for people to use and look at and remind of what's going on. So this is the first chart I wanted to show you. There's about 4 or 5, and I just want to show you how easy it is to look at this stuff. Again, I think I need to disclose that I own all of these stocks, and I'm not recommending that you necessarily buy all these stocks. So the first one, this one's CCL. It's a cruise liner, and it's been, let's just take a look at it, looking at it with the 5 ingredients. So right here, oh, oops, I kind of meant to leave this floating. Right here, you got the green direction line, okay? If we were looking at CCL, it would have given us this green direction line right back here, January 3rd, over 1 month ago exactly, almost. So what, exactly almost, great verbiage. So in the second ingredient that we're looking for is those bullish health lines that go horizontal. Take a look at them right here. Easy to see. Here we had the bit of a green spike, okay, which is your third ingredient. Number 4, what you're looking for is these pure health ribbons, which have been kind of coming in and going out on the chart. And then the 5th one that you're looking for is the green ribbon. And look how that is. So yesterday we did have on CCL, one of the reasons I like it is we just had a bit of a breakout. It's been trying to kind of break through the resistance on this area. But if we were looking at this over the last month, all of the ingredients are telling us that this stock is bullish. I was going to say it's going to go up, but for legal reasons, I probably shouldn't say that. But it is in a bullish territory, and we're getting all of the 5 ingredients that are kind of matching over the course of the last month. And very, very good pick. If I'm looking at this stock, not only did we have this spike, we had the yellow bar, we had the Turkish bar. It's been highlighted green. Here we had a bit of an indigo bar, but a couple of days later, we had the yellow bar come in. It's very, very easy for me to read that the trend is up. There's not a lot of decision that has to go into that. It's simple. Let's look at another example. You might have heard about this one. We get a little bit of confusion about this stock, actually, because it's called Meta, the MetaStock. But let's take a look at that, another stock that has kind of been having a nice little move lately. And let's just take a look at kind of what it looks like. So again, we had a nice little gap this morning on Meta. But let's just take a look at kind of it in conjunction with the ingredients. Your green direction line gave us a bullish reading back here in December. Okay, you had a bullish spike. You had this has been, for the most part, you've had a little bit of some downs, but these have been above 0 and flat, which is what we're looking for the bullish health lines. Here was the last spike you had. Okay, you've had pure health coming in. It's been a little bit sporadic right here, but it's been coming in pretty consistently again since December 29th. And you've got your horizontal, your green ribbon. I get nervous. I'm going to say it wrong. I think it's a horizontal time ribbon. It's been positive as well. So how easy is that to read? Not only that, you got the indigo bar, but the very next day you got the yellow bar, and it's been giving you a green trend ever since. It's very, very simple. Let's look at another example. Again, here's one that in the end of last year was very, very bullish, but it's been, or bearish up until last year, but is something that's been kind of taking off a little bit later, Tesla. Okay. So obviously, if we look at, actually, if you come back here a little bit early in the chart, you see that everything looks negative. You got the bearish spike, bearish, bearish, bearish. It's very, very easy to read. But seems like there may have been a sea change with Tesla. Here, let's kind of zoom in a little bit. If we just kind of look at the chart that we're looking at, here you had a green spike. You had this, and it's a little bit hard to read exactly what it is, so I'm going to kind of zoom it up. This is a bullish to bearish, or the bearish to bullish, I mean, at a yellow bar. You had this, let's kind of bring in the cheat guide here. You have the green spike. You have the green direction line. It hasn't been exactly flat up here, but it has been recently. Has been here, here, and here. Again, it's really easy to read this, especially if you have the ingredients. And I am serious, Peter. We need to put this on a mouse pad. Right here, if you look at the green health, here you look at the horizontal time ribbon, everything is kind of matching up with it. I think you get the idea. Let's look at I guess we'll look at one more. AMD, semiconductor stock, processor company. Let's go ahead and open it up. AMD, I think it's .o. Yep, okay. And again, okay, so up here, you can see that kind of things are a little bit unsteady, kind of have the darker lines. Visually, you get an idea. Again, here you have your bullish spike. Here are here's the cheat sheet. You've got your green spike. You've got the green direction line. You've got the horizontal lines. You got the yellow bar. Got another yellow bar yesterday. Horizontal time risk. It's easy to read, and I really like the way that once you understand exactly how the ingredients put together, it's pretty easy to see that something's different here, right? There's a bit of a change that happened from right here to right here. I'm not saying that that change is going to be sustained. There's no guarantees ever when you're trading, but this chart is very, very easy to read, and you can very, very visually see it. So I think that's enough for examples. I do want to kind of show just exactly how well it's designed in MetaStock. Obviously, what you're seeing here is all the indicators, and then it's using the expert commentary to put all the symbols on the chart, and the ribbons, and all that kind of stuff. I do want to show you, if you've seen me talk about MetaStock before, I'm very, very passionate about the expert commentary. I love the experts, and when they're put together well, they can help you understand what's going on in the chart. And I think Peter did a fantastic job putting together this commentary. So here we have a nice little bit of an overview of the stock. It's going to give you important lines on the daily. You can see a bit of a trading strategy line. And right here is a summary of those 5 ingredients. So if we're looking at this chart, it's analyzing the very last bar. You can see exactly where I'm pointing out of the chart. The very last bar. But your magic direction line is bullish, your magic health indicator is bullish, your spectrum spike is bullish, it's all spelled out for you. And in addition, it goes into a lot of detail. I'm not going to read this all out because, you can read it. But it's very, very well integrated into exactly what the software is, and it tells it for you. Okay. Now, the other thing that I really like about MetaStock, and of course, is a huge advantage for me because I spend a lot of time working during the day, and you might be in the same situation, but I don't have a lot of time to trade, and I like to be able to find opportunities. And Peter already talked about this, but I love the ability to scan. And so typically, as you're getting started, there's a couple things that I'd recommend. One, the template that I'm looking at is the daily 5 ingredients. I'd recommend that that's where you start. I think personally, and Peter may have a different view, but I think that's the best place to kind of start to get your mind around everything. The other scan that I really, really like to look at is this one that's called the Magic Trader 5 Ingredients. And that's, I believe, the one that Peter was showing the scan results of earlier. But on this one, one of the things for me personally is I like to be able to ignore stocks that don't have a good opportunity and focus on the ones that do. And with the scanner and the Magic Trader put together, I do have the ability to go through thousands of securities and find the ones that are the ones that I'm interested in. Like, so for example, on this scan, I did the 5 ingredients, okay? And it doesn't matter where in the world you are. We have a lot of traders that come in from India that trade NSE stocks, National Stock Exchange of India. We have a lot of traders that are in Australia. We have a lot of traders that are in London, Europe, Africa, Middle East. Because we get the data from Refinitiv, we actually, like, the amount of data that we cover is just ridiculous. Like, we're going to have the data that you're interested in. If you look at this number right here, just in this list here, I've got 321,122 instruments, just that you can look at. And one of the things that I think they've done a really good job is helping you organize that data. So obviously, if you're here in the US with us, you're probably not going to be running scans on Asia or Europe. But if you are, all of those lists are available for you. Okay. One of the lists I like to scan against is the optionable stocks. There's 5,800 optionable stocks in here, right? And I can just scan all of those optionable stocks. It takes a minute, but what I'm going to do just to kind of go through and kind of make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to scan all of the Dow Industrial stocks, which is the list I have. I'm going to scan all of the NASDAQ 100 stocks, and I'm going to do all the S&P 500 stocks. So I'll just go ahead and run that scan. With this particular scan, what I'm going, let's go ahead and start it. Okay. What I'm going to do, what this one is actually going to do is it's going to go through and kind of give me columns of all of the information that's available. And Peter showed this a little bit, and I'll probably, instead of letting it run, which should only take a couple minutes, it's just great. If I want to find everything that had like a bullish spike today, it's going to be on this list. It allows me, as somebody that doesn't really have a lot of time that I can devote to trading, to be able to just say, okay, well, this is the kind of stock that I want to look at. I want to look at the green spikes. Show me just those stocks, and it just makes it so easy to make that list. So Peter did a really, really good job of defining this into MetaStock. Let's see. I think that's primarily what I wanted to show in MetaStock. Let's go ahead and kind of just talk. Let me go back in here to my slideshow here, and I want to talk a little bit about what's included in Magic Trader Elite. It is a very, very big add-on. Just like MetaStock, MetaStock's a product we've been working for like 35, 40 years now. It's been rated #1 for 30 years in a row. Magic Trader Elite is also a very, very big product. And the reason I think that's beneficial is it has so many, as you learn more about how to use Magic Trader Elite, the more it's going to work for you, just like MetaStock. So as part of the Magic Trader Elite package, you're going to get 58 indicators, 47 explorations, you get 2 expert advisors, 35 templates, a manual. Actually, that's how I learned how to use Magic Trader, is I actually read the manual, and it's very well put together. I think Peter put together a bunch of it, and then we kind of helped on our end with some stuff, but it was very, very well put together. It's going to have 102 different symbols that are put on the chart. The commentary window I showed you, it does have the 11 different highlights that you see as well. The retail price on Magic Trader Elite is $199 per month. Okay. In addition to that, before I actually talk about the recording and the training, this recording and this training, one of the things we also did, and I wrote down the exact numbers on this earlier, but one of the things that we also did, and it's included every time you purchase Magic Trader, it is a boot camp recording. That boot camp recording is actually 2 hours and 15 minutes long. And it's very, very extensive. Peter did a really good job of kind of breaking down exactly, what all the signals meant and kind of how to use it. And it's a really, really good training. If you only subscribe to Magic Trader Elite, you'll get that. We did also do kind of like a premium training. And this is 20 hours of recording. And I actually wrote down the session times on this as well, but there was 4 different training modules that we did. We did this training over, I believe, if I remember, it was like 4 weeks. Okay, and it was like every Saturday, and they were very, very extensive sessions. So session 1, this one where he talks about the fundamentals of Magic Trader, did an introduction, talks about risk, price preceptors, and charts. That particular session was 3 hours and 37 minutes long. Okay, this session 2 where he talks about the 5 ingredients and introduces them, and I'm not going to read all of the bullet points. You can read them if you want, but that session was about 3 hours and 43 minutes long. Okay, this section training module 3 where he talks about magic lines and the bullish and bearish believers and the blue lines and that kind of stuff. That was a 4 hour and 18-minute class. Okay, and in addition to that, like the final class that he did, the final class was about catalysts and spotting risks and these bullet points here, that was 5 hours and 58 minutes long. So this is 20 hours of basically instruction on how to use Magic Trader. And I think everybody, I know a lot of people that were here in the room actually went to that training live with me. I believe Eugenia did. And if you went to the live recording, let me know in the chat. but I think you'll all agree it was really, really good. The retail price on that recording is $9.99. So there's 2 offers that we're going to do. Oh, also, in addition to that, I'm getting ahead of myself, which isn't uncommon. But like, in addition to that, if you have Magic Trader, you'll have access to the magictrader.com, which has a really big education page, as you can see right here. And you also have access to the Facebook group. Okay. Now, I think here is kind of like where we're going to go from here. Original pricing, if you're just talking about kind of like everything that I'm talking about today, Magic Trader Elite would normally cost you about $597. You'd have the Elite recorded trainings that are available to you. Those are normally $9.99. The education portal is always free. There's no cost to that. And the boot camp was normally about a $400 value. The total value on that would be $2,000. Now, there's 2 basic options that we're going to do for you today. The first one is if you just want to subscribe to Magic Trader Elite, you can do that. If you do that, we're going to give you the 2nd and the 3rd month for free. So you'll pay, actually, we're going to give you even a discount on the normal rate of $199, and we're going to discount that back down to $149. So you'll pay $149 for your 1st month, and you'll get your 2nd and your 3rd month for free. So that's about $50 a month to try this. As part of that, if you just do that, you have access to the boot camp, which is that 2-hour training session. And if you don't do anything else today, you should start there, because that's a great way to try the program. You're going to get a lot of in training included. What I'd recommend that you do, though, is if you want to do both that fundamentals training and the boot camp and get the 3 months access, we're basically going to give you a discount of almost $1,000. We're going to give you a price of $997. This is available for 1 week, so it expires February 9th. Basically $997. That's what you pay for it. In addition to that, that'll give you 3 months access to the Magic Trader as well. So again, that's only available until February 9th. You want to do it by then. And that 3-month extended trial is for new customers only. So you pay $149 for the first 3 months, and then after that, the pricing will go back to normal. Okay. Again, the 2 options are just if you want to do Magic Trader Elite, $50 a month for 3 months. You'll pay $150. After that, the price goes back to normal, but it's a great way to try it. Okay, it'll include that boot camp, but I would recommend with all the training that's available. Again, it's a very comprehensive package. Pay the $997, get access to all of that training, go through it. You'll have plenty of time, and so anyway, you can do that. If you're using Magic Trader and MetaStock already, thank you. I appreciate that. And you want to just get the actual fundamentals bootcamp, the 20 hours of recorded training, you can pay $797. We'll give you actually a $200 discount on that. Sorry, a $202 discount. So you can, for either of those options, give us a call, 800-882-3040 or metastock.com/sales-chat. Do it again before February 9th. So Eugenia says, yes, I was with the training. Yeah, I remember she was. I know there was quite a few others there. Peter, let's go ahead and bring you back on there. Here. Did I miss anything big?
You may have to. No, actually, you did a great job, right? You did better than I do. I'm telling you. Yeah, so that was very nice of you.
Well, I think we can open it up to QA now. I haven't seen a lot of people wanting to look at specific symbols, but if you do, let us know. I'd like to get your opinion on a couple. Let me go ahead and make the presentation back to you.
Okay.
And then, guys, if you guys want Peter to look at your symbols, now's your opportunity. Or if you have questions for Peter, now's your opportunity. So let me go ahead and make you the presenter. Okay. And then I will let you know if we can see your screen and all that kind of stuff. Do you like my idea of the mouse mat?
What is it?
Do you like my idea of making a mouse mat?
I'll be telling you honestly, this is what happened. I somehow click MetaStock to close it. Then, I had to restart all this thing.
Right. No,
I was reading a couple of parts you did in the front. Then I thought, probably I will never open up MetaStock, so I have to do things.
All right. Yeah, I can see your charts though. They look great. Let's go ahead and let's look at just a couple stocks again.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me see. Let's take a look at Amazon, AMZN.O. It's always a popular one. Actually, it had a big, nice right up move today, earlier, and I was looking at it.
Okay. Again, this is for discussion purpose only, education purpose, and hypothetical discussion. Right?
No, we're not recommend you buy it either.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I want to give you an idea how I look at it from monthly all the way down 60 and how I find the entries. I'm going to show you too. So basically, the good thing is this month they break the yearly threshold, right? This is equivalent to blue line. So it's very, very strong. More important for me is the institution presence for many, many weeks. These are 4 weeks, right? So here is the institutional setup. This is what I was looking when I traded institution, right? So basically, I like it. It was very strong to start with. So anybody who wanted to go with a good support from the institution buying and commitment, you had to look for bigger time frame. So even though the magic line did not cross and all happy stuff, we don't care, right? Institution presence and it's above magic line. So it was good. This was good forecasting. Look here, right in front of you. It says where it's going. Look, magic trader earlier highs plus 3.2. 3 is the risk category for bullish and 2.2 is practically telling the low risk, and it is happened to be in a main risk reversion area of magic line. So that is pretty good entry, right? And then look what happened. And as I teach people, at least 1/3 of the move from bottom to bottom, it does it is okay. And look at here, and this is type A preceptor, and it is so strong, it's unreal. And look at this health line. 2 lines parallel, we have direction line, and all these internal indicators, right, are going higher. And there is a plenty room to go to 0, right? 0, it slows down, right, most of the time. So now look at happen. Now, here is the forecasting going on for a while, and it break out today, right, because of the FOMC practically. Yesterday was FOMC. So in my opinion, this is too far from the main risk area. So main risk is the middle of, you don't need to be scientists. I look at that and I know what prices are approximately. So in my opinion, this security must come down. I'm not getting into until I have a smaller time frame helping me, or at least somewhere here. So probably you need to look for areas between 103 to 100 area. Then it's a good thing. But however, it's so strong. Look at here. After the gap opening, there's nothing guaranteed that gap will be closed. But look at the commitment from 60 minutes, which is institutional trader looking at. It's matching again. So now we had an earlier bull. Look at this here. If you wanted to call calls, we could have gone into that. Now going forward, right, we don't have much time, but at least it is not going here on a 6 or up, right? So what we do, right, is a very, very simple way you could drill it down. And this is what we do every day. So I will go to 45 minutes. Let's see what it has to say. There is no deterioration yet, but I see here is the high risk area. So incoming money from the street, right? People are feeling it. And I could see from those movement, and market maker can still drive higher, right? So basically it's risky to enter into. Where it's going to go? First, technical basis. They test this one and fill up the gap or here or in between. And then when it closes below it, I don't want to be there, right? So that's how you judge it. Now I'm going to go to another one and see which is going to be a trigger if I want to enter into again. And now bigger guys are telling me it's a risky. So I'm a very conservative. So I will try not to take much risk. And I'm looking for clues for reversal. So here there's no clue yet, right? And I did by accident 60. Hold on, I should go back to 30 minutes. Sorry about that. This is how I drill. So now it's also showing risky, and it is at 5. So let's go more further. So when you have this stock moved up so high, you're looking for the clues, right? Very refined way. Here also it deteriorating. Look at this here. So even though it's going to go higher, it did. Right? Even it shows here. So they driving prices based on S&P. Holy cow! I'm almost there on my option trade. Cool, right? So basically, we don't have much time, but I went in an option trade based on my own experience and calculation based on this kind of analytical work. And I put it out there because I'm busy. I put it the exit price at 40, and it was at 40. So that will result me a good profit. That's the only thing I care. And I don't like to keep, even though it's going to go higher, I just might take profits, right? In one day, look, this is what I was looking for, deterioration. So here, look, the spike came in, and it can have a divergence. There's nothing wrong with that. This is what I'm looking for, the direction line. So now look at here, put option came in, right? So it is kind of reversing. They're going to take profits, right? So if majority is security, like Facebook doing same thing, Amazon is doing something, Netflix doing same thing, then it is telling we going down. Eventually the market will pull back. So if you are in option at that time, you get the hell out of that. I'm on the other side already and doing very well because I anticipate. I bought a put spread. One more time frame I want to show, because there are people who are existing using, they could be helpful how I drill things and find out. Because I'm not buying it. I want to look for excuse not to buy it. Look at here. That's a divergence. They're driving purposely prices higher. So I will like a couple of things like D candles, then E candles. So it's too early to get out also. So they're softening up, and that's about it. So I'm not buying or selling. So I already had like a put options on one of the security, which I don't want to talk about it because people go on. It's too late. Already I'm in a profit. That means it's too late. And you're chasing. So which other ones you want to do it?
Actually, this one comes from Benjamin in GoToWebinar. He wants to look at the Magic Kingdom, Disney, DIS.
Okay, give me a second. Let me see if I could get that. DIS. It has O?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, this is how I will do it. This is one of the things. And okay, this is how I get around when it doesn't give me symbol quick enough. Because I'm not trading live, so it doesn't matter. Now it will do faster.
Yeah, yeah. I can also help you with kind of making your list a lot smaller too. Yeah, there you go. That's it.
You know, we are traders. We figured out what to do.
Yeah. You're doing great.
This is it's a converting from bearish to bullish, and Turkish bar was telling we're going to the moon. And look here, the official conversion. BEBU ME. So I'm looking at now on a smaller time frame, similarity was started here, then yellow bar. Anybody using it, we're teaching to advance this thing, I will give it to you for free. You find black bar and subsequent, but you can, next bar is yellow bar. Generally, you see this thing because This is nothing but institution reversing the trend, and I was one of them. And that's how it's designed, pinpointing those events, right? It was my life dream. Where is that point I could put my money, right? Where I could pinpoint it. And look at this here. These are all institutions heavily buying, and we could find any truth. Go to CBOE data, right? Out of the money calls, how many were bought, and then market makers are forced to buy into the stock, and that's what the moves. That's where the delta hedging comes from. Because I worked as a prop trader in a hedging company, which was the one of the most famous in the country back in days. That's how I learned all these things in the hedging side. So it is very important to learn that. So now, see here, the hump, what you're talking about, Jeff, I saw a few of those things. At that time, when people are pulling back, this gap is created for re-entries. And they give you a chance to enter it at lower prices. They both together, they have a different shape, V and a trough. Together, it pinpoint down the entries. And you could see here, trough extended. That means they pull back another chance to go. But the software was telling here, we're going to the moon. So basically, right now is strong, and you could see, but there's a divergence going on right now. And eventually, what you call smaller time frame will tell you what is going to happen. So let's see the bigger ones. So smaller time has that, but let me go to 60, what it does tell. And it can come from any place. So that's another thing. You can't just generalize, oh, it comes in hourly. It doesn't work that way. I'm looking for perfect match of 5 ingredients. So this is not good for shorting, right? Because it's so strong here. Look at that 60-minute. So we're going to drill it down. That's where Jeff needs that FXTA multiple time frame. So now you got the idea. So let me see.
Yeah, I really like the analysis.
But that's how we do in a room every day. Oh, look at this here. So now this is your enemy if you want to short it, which is that time frame 45. It keep on going, and a big candle, this institution buying it. It's risky for us, but they could draw down whatever the percentage they want. They will buy more. But I won't be shorting. I won't be buying puts at least.
I have a question for you, Peter.
Yeah.
Do you typically use stop losses? And
No.
Do you have no. Okay.
With this market condition, it will be foolish to do that.
Okay.
So much volatility, and I decided when it started this volatility, if I'm not watching, I will take the option position because I have less risk because I do spread at that time and I'm feeling uncomfortable. So I buy back one of the leg, right? So basically, you could stop out 10 times in this volatility. You'll see tomorrow's option expiration date. Oh, market will have 50 reasons to take out the profits. Oh, it's Friday and this and that. All right. So
would you say that most of the trading that you're doing is in options?
No, I do the other ones also, but I take less risk in an option so I could hedge with the option too. Right?
Yeah.
So large position, I don't want to take it without the option. Suppose I'm not sure where it puts and things like that.
Cool. Okay.
Either I'm placing myself or I have trained brokers. So I could do other things. Otherwise, you can't.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise, you take a hit. Look at here. Jeff, this is damn strong.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, it's too late. It's too far. But still, people will look at it here. 4, 5 weeks, keep on going. Imagine on the other side, you had a knowledge of how to enter based on a bigger time frame. You could take profit situation like this every day, whenever it happens, and then keep on going. As long as you are forecaster fan, you will know what is going on. Me being conservative, I know it's risky, so I'm not taking more position because market can snap in a minute to test 4100. Then what happens? 100 points on an S&P can hurt you. So unless you're watching and put a stop loss, My stop loss is, I have to put, I'll give you straight answer. Today's low is the best stop loss, right? But if you don't have that and gap in between, the next victim is this magic line prices. So they're going to try that. And we don't have these zone lines here. Otherwise, that is my best bet. Zone lines tells me everything.
Okay,
So
cool.
let me tell you the risk right entering. I colored a little bit down so it doesn't look too hard. Your price is 108.74. It can go to, if really market coming down hard. And another way I do it, where is the institution presence, right? So basically, these are all institutions. They're batting it at high risk to push it further. But this is damn 30 minutes. So what the hell, right? So I would put stop right underneath because I'm sensitive. So I don't mind taking the position if my hands itching, but I will watch very clearly and not this is because this is low. This is a pivot point actually based on the forecasting. So it will try to come back to retest that level, not arbitrarily what we feel it. This is not the same pivot point you're looking. It happened to be it's a weak formation, but technically it was a heavy duty commitment to forecast it. And that's where I will put the stop because I don't want to give up my profits. Then if it comes back here, I'll buy again.
That's
In
great.
theory, it's all good, but you have to be here to do that, right? So
Mhm.
whatever I could make it, I make it. What else you want me to look at?
That's the end of the requests that
Anybody
we
else?
have. Last chance. Last chance. Let's go.
The best bet, as you said, is these 5 ingredients and get good at that and
Mhm.
use those. Once Explorer, they should use 5 ingredients. And a cat is the same one, but we separated and we added more few things, catalyst added there. So it can help. And this one, I just showing people this strategy because we teach so far maybe 30, 40 strategy I taught into the room, right?
Mhm.
And people, traders are going nuts. Okay. There are 800 plus strategy you could use here. Can you trade every day? No, you go crazy. So I pick up whatever I feel it, right? And but I stay with my basic 5 ingredients because that's how I feel more comfortable. That's what I teach every day, right? That's the basic things you got to learn pretty good. And drilling is called swing training. You have to have it. So this way you have a less chances of what you call losing. That doesn't mean that guarantee you cannot lose. You could lose anytime. Market can snap. Then you think your software doesn't work, but you got to understand when Fed speak, everybody gets in trouble. So you don't trade. I want to show you something. Yeah, where is hourly? I think it was 45, if I remember right. When I said drilling, look at here. This is so amazing, right? There is a fight, obvious fight going on. Did you see that? The fight going on, but the 5 ingredients match with the catalyst and look at the size of the bull. There are different sizes. This is heavy duty bull and people who are software, it is built in. I could tell you where the money was coming in. Do you know, Jeff? YB4 is the multiple time frame. If you remember, I think Will or somebody was involved from MetaStock. YB4 is telling me buying coming from 15 minutes. That's for 15 minutes buying, showing on a 60 minute. This is itself is an invention. So until we do multiple time frame, this is how I get around. Instead of complaining, I just get around. And also look at how many bulls are there. The commitment is there. There could be a fight. The bears are 3, but this was the really trigger. You got it?
Yeah.
Because 5 ingredients are matching here and the bull is there and commitment from 15 minutes. That's why it's plus plus. You see that?
Mhm.
It was
I see.
here also, but there was no commitment of direction. That's where the training comes in. And look who jumped in, Brad. Or not Jeff. Look at who came in. us. Behind the scene, probably a candle here also, which you could find from this scanner. But look at here, who came with the money? Institutions, type A. That's what, and we have pattern on this thing, price perceptors, all of them. This is what I figured out, that could be a way different institution, different retail comes in. I have to know who is involved, and then I put my money in that. Otherwise, I feel uncomfortable. And evidence is 15 minutes is a fresh buying coming in. So even though it's a C candle forecasting, there's a thing going on here. So if I was a day trader, I could make money. So if I'm on the front of the computer, I'm going in. This is how I trade. Really, I trade very scientific way, not what I feel emotionally. I don't need to. Because this software is designed on a risk, and this is my risk, right? Here is the less risk, so why not we pull the trigger? Now, if I want to entry further, I drill it down to smaller time frame. So I just want to show you, Jeff, if you have a minute, so it can help everybody. We're going on a record, so let them learn it. Look at here. Here is a black candle or D candle. It looks like a black candle here. But bull came in earlier. You got to watch that. And then direction line came at the end, right? So who is the scalper? They could get it, but it's risky. But I don't like this kind of color. D candle is the in-between candle from bulls to bear to, or bears to bull, and it can give you pain. So how to get around? You look for symbols which are like showing this way. So you get some scalping, right? And if you see the bull, you get out. So what we're doing in a room, that we collect some money right in here, shorting it right from here, using that, use that money, keep it there as a scalper, and get out. And when I see bull, right, I put the money in there. And I sometimes put money here, sometimes here, because I experience, right? 2 bulls or YB3 on a fight, that means I have a support from 15. So this is just another entry they're doing it. So it's a divergence practically. So Jeff, you see my world now, right?
Yeah, it's
how I see things.
Yeah, it's really good, Peter.
I don't like this stereo kind of slide business, to be honest with you. But in a reality, this is the way I live my life. Slide takes so much time to prepare it, right?
Mhm.
But we have to still teach people fundamentals, otherwise they don't get it. But I love to talk like this whole day. But then the regular, so you got to explain to them step by step.
Yeah, and you did a great job. I really appreciate all the time
you too. I think you understood very much. We had discussion about your understanding, other than earlier days, right? We didn't have time to talk about it. You did very good. It was very clear. You could do my work is better, so I could trade. That's the idea.
I wish I had more time to trade, but I'm gonna. I do really appreciate all the work you've put into this. It's been fantastic.
It's not because I designed my blur. All these things, indirect costs is in millions, because my other businesses are suffering, right? So, but this is what I made a decision, right? So, go ahead.
Just a comment. I put up the screen again. I want to remind everybody the deal. Benjamin says very, 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 3 varies, impressive, with an exclamation point. Combines many things. Thank you. So good job.
Thank you very much. No, I appreciate too.
Peter, I want to say thank you for spending 90 minutes with us today. It was really, really good. I know you're busy. I appreciate all the time you spent with us. I do want to say real quick to everybody that came today, thank you for coming and spending some time with us. I hope this was helpful for you. I would encourage you to take advantage of the package. Again, this is the offer that expires on February 9th. You can pay for 1 month of Magic Trader and get the 2nd and 3rd month for free. Your costs for those 3 months are going to be $50 per month. You pay $150 today, and you won't pay again for 3 months. That's only for the first 3 months. After that, the subscription will go back to the normal price, okay? I would, of course, encourage you to do the full package deal that includes that 20 plus hours of recording. As you can tell, Peter's very, very thorough in terms of the training that he does. And you can get the 20 plus hours of training as well as the 3 free months, and that total package price is going to cost you $997. If you already have Magic Trader, thank you. We appreciate that. You can actually just get the training. We're going to do a discount of $202 off, $797. So give us a call, 800-882-3040. You can visit us online at metastock.com/saleschat. If you have more questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're very, very happy to help you. Thank you again, Peter. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for having me there. Hopefully we could do often. Then a lot of things I could teach people too.
Yes, I'm going to look at the calendar and we'll schedule you for the next one this afternoon.
Yeah,
so,
and we could have this kind of discussion.
You are going to come back for our big February event too.
Yeah, I am coming there. But we cannot talk more than X amount of 50 minutes, 60 minutes the most. Then people feel that they didn't get enough.
Yeah.
I like this kind of setup.
Me too. I think it excels well. I love looking at just charts with people too. Like it's my favorite thing. Anyway, thanks again, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube, and give us a call. This is a great offer. You should try it. If anything else, if you don't like it, it's $150. $50 a month is what you pay for it. And you're going to like it. So give it a try. 800-882-3040, metastock.com/saleschat. Stay healthy, stay well, everybody. Be safe. I'll see you at the next webinar.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Hi, Kelly Clement here from MetaStock. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you found it instructive and informative. If you did, what I'd like to invite you to do is go ahead and like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps us a great deal, and it helps us bring you more awesome content like today's video. So go ahead and like and subscribe, and keep on watching.